pressure group Justice for Ghana have stormed Parliament to demand the rejection of tax measures introduced by government in the 2023 budget. The group says the tax policies will cause more harm than good and urge the MPs to take a firm stance against the policy measures.
The group has today picketed the presence of Parliament as part of a renewed efforts to fight against Parliament's attempt to allocate some monies for the construction of the National Cathedral and the imposition of certain tax measures by the ruling government. So today we have some of the conveners here to speak to us on why they have decided to picket Parliament and what they expect at the end of this picketing.
You have a government that is so inconsistent even in its lies. You should be worried. President Akufo-Addo was very eloquent when he said that this country has suffered so much taxation and that we had so much resources within the state of Ghana that we didn't need to borrow and that we have to move away from taxation to production. Not my words. Those were President Akufo-Addo's words. We have to move from taxation to production. The increase in the VAT rate by 2.5% cannot constitute production. The introduction of a thievery tax called electronic transfers levy cannot constitute production. The increase in taxes on petroleum and other things cannot constitute production but taxation. So what has happened to the President Akufo-Addo's own thought that we should move away from taxation to production? That means that the president is saying that he is without ideas. This president has told us that, look, we have all the resources to be a wealthy nation. But as a result of bad leadership, poor leadership, we go to borrow. He vowed not to go to the International Monetary Fund. He vowed. And that going to the International Monetary Fund was to submit that Ghana was without ideas to know how to lead our country. Today, we have introduced the electronic transfers levies and we have still gone to the International Monetary Fund. Meanwhile, they told us that e-levy or IMF. Now it's no more e-levy or IMF, it's IMF and e-levy. So clearly, if our president has a track that we all believe in and wanted to follow the lane, and all of a sudden we have realized that the man has gone to take Akpeteshi and he have veered on off the lane and he's going into the bush, it is our duty as citizens to bring him back to track. That, Mr. President, this Akpeteshi that you have gone to take, it has taken you off the main road. It's leading you into the bush. We will go and hit a big tree and all of us will die. So we beg you, don't go on that path. That is the responsibility of citizens to stand up to the president and say, come back to the path that we all agree that you should pass with us. And that is what we are doing. Isn't it unthinkable that in this economic mess that we find ourselves, government money will be dedicated to that foolish structure called a national cathedral? 80 million.
House for God.
Is God homeless? God is homeless. And that it is Akufo-Addo that will have to come and put a house for God to stay in. Has God told you that his rent has expired and he needs a place to stay? So to take at a time when you are telling the young people of this nation that they will not get employment in 2023, you will have money to go and sink into this structure that is of no consequence. I was born into the Catholic Church. I don't come here to worship. I'm sure you are born a Muslim. You will not come here to worship. My brother is here. They will go and make libation. They will not come here to worship. So who instructed Akufo-Addo to come and put that structure here? As we speak, we are going to pay judgment debt in billions because people's private property, Watergate and others were here. And today they have taken the government to court so that they can get their money back. You demolish their property. So not only have we wasted money, not only have we given our prime lands, but at the same time we are going to suffer judgment debt that will be paid by us. So when we have a government that is engaged in this recklessness, it is our duty, our abiding duty, to stage out, to say that enough of the foolish policies that are sinking us down. And that is why we are here. That is why we are here this morning.
The objective of this picketing is that we want to bring government's attention to, the things that are contained, some of the things that are contained in the 2023 budgets, which things are the VAT, the cathedral, especially the allocation of the 80 million Ghana cedis for the construction of that edifice. We believe strongly that it is fanciful, wasteful, and useless. And when I say useless because that edifice is supposed to honor God, according to the president, to glorify him, to magnify him. But the construction of the cathedral, as we speak, is being constructed on, a welter or a farrago of lies, half-truths, deception, and some level of manipulations of the public to accept it. And we think that God will not inhabit or dwell in an edifice that is constructed or built on lies, deception, and half-truths, because God is Haka. God is the truth, and the truth is God. So God will never inhabit that place. Who should be held responsible for, the debt restructuring? That person is Keno Foriata, who has been obstinate and stubborn in his dealings with us Ghanaians. His crass incompetence, that result has landed this country into a bankrupt state. Then the other one is and this is what is actually more passionate. I'm more passionate about this one, which is the freeze on public sector employment. When you look at the number of jobless youths in Ghana today, and government has decided to put a freeze on public sector employment, that tells you clearly that the government of Ghana or the president of the Republic of Ghana